Hello everyone,
Hello.
I am Pritam. Can you please explain what you are doing here?
Yes, this is our prototype robot barber, and he's a prototype robot that uses sensors to detect where a client's head is, and he would be able to cut hair in a full scale version.
Wow, this robot will be able to cut the hairs of a client.
Yep. Supposedly.
Yeah, that is your objective. That is
Yes.
what you want it to do, right?
Yep.
Good. So, how is it working? Can you briefly explain it for people?
So yeah, right now it has sensors in the eyes, and if something gets close enough to it, it just has motors that just raise the arms.
So that is like, if you don't mind, very primitive robot, right? It is just able to recognize or identify something in front of it, and accordingly it is moving. But if we really want it to cut the hairs of a client, it has to upgrade a lot, isn't it?
Yeah. Yep. So this is just like a little draft prototype of our entire project.
Fantastic. So why we people are so much crazy about robots? First of all, can you tell a little bit about yourself, like which department you are in?
Yeah, so I'm in mechanical engineering technology, and I've had a 3D printer for years, and I've always liked building stuff and just messing around, figuring out how stuff works.
Wow. What about you?
I'm a robotics engineer. I've just always been interested in robots since I was a kid, and I did a lot in high school, so I just wanted to keep doing it.
Are you interested in human beings? I know you are interested in robots. That's fine. We human beings can do much more work than a robot can do, isn't it? All right. What about
I'm
you?
in the electrical engineering department, and I guess ever since I was a kid, I was fascinated in like creating a robot from scratch.
Wow.
And this is basically our first prototype of our robot,
So that is the robot. What's the name?
a robot. We just mixed the name of the barber and the robot, just combined them together. Just call it robot.
Okay. All right. But I have few simple questions for you. What if the robots become really powerful someday that they can do all the activities that human beings are doing? For example, suppose robots are doing farming, robots are cutting the hairs of the client, robots are making coffee and tea for us. So if the robots are doing all these activities, what human beings will be doing? Will we be just meditating, closing our eyes and thinking about something more superior, or what?
Just because of the way our economy is set up, I don't think that would ever happen. There's so many restrictions and everything for stuff like that, and it's just not ethically reasonable to produce robots to do jobs for everybody else. Like, it may be more economically, it might be the better choice because it's a lot cheaper for companies, but ethically speaking, they would never do that. I don't think.
But I hear like right now research is going on to produce driverless car, and already that is out in the market. We don't need any driver. It is so much programmed. So drivers are gone from the picture, right? And now you're making a robot who can cut the hairs. I mean, wonderful. Okay, let me ask the question this way. Suppose early in the morning you go to the office and you find a robot who is making tea or coffee or snacks for you and offering you, and another picture where there is actually a human being smiling, greeting you, making the coffee and tea or whatever, and giving it to you and maybe having a warm conversation. Which would be your preference to have?
I mean, I would prefer the human being, of course.
All of you?
Human being would definitely be more comfortable to interact with one another.
It's a more personable experience for sure.
Yeah.
Right, that will give us a lot of pleasure, right? Instead of a robotic hand giving us the coffee. And of course, that's a great achievement, being a human, that we can create something like that.
Yep.
But if possible, we would like to have someone, a human being, to be with us,
Yeah.
right? So what do you think? What is the future of robotics?
I think it'll get to a point that it replaces a lot of maybe like low-level jobs that are just like really tedious, like a lot of factory jobs maybe, and higher level jobs will stay for humans, maybe like higher education jobs.
What do you mean by higher level jobs?
Like maybe like designing things, like you'll need to design the robots and know how to fix them, and like maybe being teachers and stuff will stay for humans.
So, for example, in a school, college, university, or maybe in an office, if the so-called low-level jobs like cleaning the apartment, suppose they are done by robots. Cooking, if we think that is low level job, I am not sure if we should call all these jobs low level, but that is like repetitive job. A robot can definitely cook. For clothing, we have the washing machine, that is also a robot, right? So anything that is doing the job automatically is a robot. So if all these things are being done, then human beings are doing something more superior, like thinking, creating, designing a better future, whereas all these things are taken care of by the robots. Yeah, of course, many men, many minds, people can differ on their opinions. Like personally, I think that whatever the science, technology, or robotics, that should only assist human being. Okay, but we human beings should be involved in all these activities, because that is something that we crave for. Like that actually makes us human. That is the meaning of life or living is in this planet, isn't it? Any other comment that you would like to share for anyone watching this video about science, technology, robotics, or in general?
I was thinking, if you're having in mind of creating a robot, you should definitely create something, because all three of us, we had an idea of creating something like this, which it's the prototype, but like a robot that for us feel like comfortable to like work right now. For now, it's like it looks like a toy, but maybe in the future there may be a actual robot that's cutting our hair.
Yeah.
So just don't give up on the future, I guess.
Okay.
And always pick something that'll challenge you, because like this for sure challenged us. Like a lot of us weren't, well, I shouldn't say a lot of us. I wasn't very good at designing when we came into it, and I had never done any 3D modeling or anything like that. And I learned so much doing this project just because we picked something a little bit more difficult.
Mm-hmm. You please hold it for me.
Sure.
So, yeah, I don't have much knowledge about robotics, but I personally think not the low level job, but the task or the jobs which are extremely difficult for human beings to do. For example, exploring the space, going into different planets, collecting the sample from there, right? Going into the depth of the ocean, if we really have to understand what exactly is going on there, and it is most often very difficult for a human being to dive deep at that level. So all these activities maybe can be done by the robot. So what I'm trying to tell, that whatever we human beings can do, we should do. But if we think that there's a high risk where we cannot reach, think about nanobots they call it, right? Because there is this drug delivery system, like people are delivering drug to really fix or repair something inside the body where we human beings cannot really reach. We have nanobots or robots for that. So for me, I think that is definitely one of the greatest achievements of human beings, and we have to employ the robots in those activities which are more suitable for them, where we cannot really reach. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. But thank you so much. It's a wonderful activity, creative work, right? And it feels really good when you can create something from all these raw materials and the basic principle of physics and other branches of science. And thank you for sharing.
Yeah, thank you so
Okay.
much.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Thanks, you too.